Radiant team ban.
Hello and welcome to the Thunderfunking DotaCast. I am Cranberry Thunderfunk, and I am very excited to bring you a best of three between FlipSide Tactics and Quantic Gaming in the RaidCall EMS Summer 2013 main event. So the four cups are over, and the playoffs are about to begin. This is the group stages of the main event, so we're not quite yet at the final playoffs, but all the teams here have qualified through the four separate cups, and it's going to be some good games. I'm pretty excited. This is also the first time I've casted FlipSide, who is the old Absolute Legends squad reborn. The old Absolute Legends squad parted with their sponsor. Apparently both the players and the sponsor mutually agreeing it was time to part ways. The AL squad has had a lot of trouble finding their foothold over the last really year and a half. They were invited to TI2, and I think they were the first team to get knocked out. That might have been Dare, but they were right in there, down at the bottom three. AL failed to qualify in the International Western qualifiers. They did manage to take down Empire, as well as one other team. I don't remember which one. So the individual player skill is high, but as a team, they just seem to have struggled finding cohesion. So we'll see how they do in their new circumstances. Quantic, recently sponsored, or well, formerly known as DD, davay, dasvidania, picked up by Quantic Gaming. They are just coming off of second place at DreamHack Summer. They showed a pretty strong performance pretty much up until the finals. In the best of three against Alliance, they did take one game, though I believe that was mostly due to Alliance's misdrafting. The other two games were a bit of a stomp, and in fact the third game was a total shutout. 22-0, Alliance playing perfect Dota. So Quantic, they're showing well. They couldn't take down Alliance, which I don't think anybody will hold against them at this point, since they're uncontested as the top team. But they've been playing really well, and their squad seems to only be improving in its quality. But let's look at some of the picks and bans here coming out of the gate, because they're already pretty interesting. A first ban Slark from Quantic. I believe this would be an indication that FlipSide likes to run Slark, which is, it's interesting. He's rising in popularity for a lot of different reasons, and he's very mobile. You can run him in several different lanes, and if he's able to get early farm, he can be a huge pain in the ass to take down. His health regen is absurd. He has a natural invisibility, and many players choose to pick up a Shadow Blade, further making him just that much harder to take down. So I think an understandable ban, although a little bit uncommon. FlipSide, they take out the OD and Treant Protector. Treant Protector, living armor, it's been absurd recently. OD has really risen to be a popular first ban, and Alliance, in all three games against Quantic, banned OD out in the first stage, indicating that Quantic has probably shown some strong results with OD. But in general, he's just been gaining popularity as an amazing solo mid, as well as he provides through the Essence Aura just an amazing buff to the rest of the team. You don't need mana. It's like having a Crystal Maiden, except your Crystal Maiden is a carry and a solo mid. So I shouldn't say actually it's a bit of a false comparison, because part of what Crystal Maiden provides is that global aura, which increases the laning presence of all of your lanes, and it's a lot of mana. But as the game goes forward, Essence Aura is more of a mid-game, stronger mid-game mana solution. Quantic, they pick up the Wisp and Chaos Knight right off the bat, and we still have yet to see a team develop a reliable solution for this combo. It's been in the game, popular for almost a year now, and it's just so good. The mobility, the ganks, so many saves from IO onto the carry, because if IO is nearby, there are no guaranteed kills on anybody that you initiate upon. And that's on top of just the general map mobility, the huge regeneration through tether, the damage amplification from overpower. It's a crazy combo, and no team has yet to develop a solution. The best you can hope for is to pick heroes that are decent at responding to the relocate ganks, and Lifestealer is certainly one of those. Rage helps him deal with the Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt, and Tether, and Batrider decent with Lifestealer. It's also nice to not be up against a Batrider when you have a Lifestealer on your team, because Bat with the lasso able to stun him through the rage, and it's one form of the Nake's bomb. Lifestealer can infest inside Batrider, and since Batrider commonly picks up Blink and Force Staff, very mobile, can initiate from long range, getting Lifestealer into the fight and providing extra burst damage, as well as a follow-up with the open wounds after the lasso ends. Quantic, they ban out Shadow Demon and Visage, arguably the two strongest supports. There's maybe not Shadow Demon so much anymore. The Eastern team still definitely value Shadow Demon as a top support pick, but Visage is universally regarded as the top support in the game right now, as long as you're not counting IO. FlipSide, they get rid of Nature's Prophet and Bane. Bane making sure that the Quantic doesn't pick that up as a Lifestealer counter pick, and preventing more global presence from Nature's Prophet. I think it's a wise ban, because if there's a Nature's Prophet and a Wisp in the game, there's just so many ways to split push. You can turn any gank into a 3-man gank at any time. Jakiro and Earthshaker picked up for the supports on FlipSide. A lot of long-range stuns, which I think that is useful versus the Chaos Knight and Wisp, at least until Chaos Knight has not picked up his BKB, though I think you can expect him to against such reliable stuns as FlipSide will get from Jakiro and Earthshaker. Quantic goes for the Queen of Pain mid, which funzii, I believe, will be played by funzii. He's one of his favorite heroes. He performs very well, and I think is a great choice against the supports on FlipSide. Being very mobile, able to dodge those stuns, makes it a lot harder for Jakiro to predict or to choose where his ice path is going to be most effectively, because of how mobile she is. And similarly for Earthshaker, it's just unlikely that Earthshaker is going to be able to lock her down unless he gets really lucky. And he also requires a lot of early levels, because Fisher scales, the stun length scales with each rank. It's hard for him to get in there and follow up with the aftershock stuns and the Echo Slam to secure a kill until he has lots of levels, and Earthshaker tends to struggle with getting those levels. So the lanes from FlipSide look to be out the bat probably an off-lane Windrunner with a mid Batrider and a defensive tri-lane with a Lifestealer, Jakiro, and Earthshaker. They could go aggressive, especially because they have such long-range stuns. So they're not locked into those lanes, but that's what I think is most likely. Quantic is forced into a defensive tri-lane because of the Wisp, and Keeper of the Light is definitely a stronger defensive tri-lane support than aggressive, providing no lockdown, and his harass is a little unreliable, particularly in the aggressive circumstance, because he has fewer places to hide. There's more space for the opponents in the tri-lane to dodge. And a Broodmother picked up from Quantic. Now there's an uncommon pick. Very likely up in the off lane. I think there's some danger here, as it's fairly easy for FlipSide to burn through her Spiderlings, as well as I'm not sure what the combo is with Earthshaker's Echo Slam, but that could, if they count as creeps, and I believe they do, then that's going to be some easy Echo Slam damage for Earthshaker. But nevertheless, I'm going to fix my camera real quick. Nevertheless, some strong lanes. I like the Broodmother pick. Excited to see more of her. And FlipSide is running the aggressive tri-lane, which I think is a smart idea versus the Chaos Knight Wisp. So running through the lineups, on the Dire side, we have FlipSide Tactics, the first showing that I have seen in their new sponsor. Mania will be playing Lifestealer, Miggel on Batrider, Unicorn on Windrunner, Miracle on Jakiro, and ryze on Earthshaker. For Quantic, on the Radiant side, we have Sockshka playing Chaos Knight, Silent on Wisp. Goblak, I believe that's Goblak on Keeper of the Light. Funzii on Queen of Pain, and fuckingmad, also known as fuckingmad, on Broodmother. I always appreciate that name just for the sheer awkwardness it creates for casters and sponsors alike. It's cute. So I'll be very curious to see. So it looks like they're not going to run Lifestealer in the aggressive tri-lane. In fact, Jakiro is headed middle, which could indicate a 2-1-2.
The battle
could also just be walking around. We'll have to see. With Earthshaker down here, this could indicate that FlipSide wants to do the Ancient pull with Earthshaker. If Earthshaker blocks the creep wave, he can pull the creeps towards the Ancient stack here, which does deny a lot of experience to this defensive tri-lane, which is a problem. They've already got 3 heroes. Experience is a little thin, but he's not doing it just yet. But that's an option for him. So actually, rotating mid, thinking about, that's one thing that is always possible with Earthshaker. Is he's because of the long range of Fisher, he's a pretty decent level 1 ganker, and in the past has been used as a roamer. And he's set up here. I think he's going to be doing the Ancient pull. With the Sentry place, this is one weakness of Broodmother in the offlane. It's very easy to place a Sentry ward that zones her out pretty hard, especially if the webs are placed down early. And this is the traditional web placement because it destroys all the trees, opens up a lot of ability to move. Oh, Miggel's being really aggressive here. But there's 6 stacks on Queen of Pain. This is going to be really close. First Blood goes to Miggel. And funzii, he was being really aggressive there. I'm not sure how he thought that was going to turn out. It's really... It's a big coin flip to try and dive on a Batrider, especially without Scream of Pain. The auto attack damage from Queen of Pain is quite strong, and she's got almost a full null talisman, so hitting for 60 base damage, pretty solid. Nonetheless, does not pay off, and Miggel picks up the First Blood, which that's going to make this lane really hard for funzii as this goes forward. So in terms of the lanes here, I think even with the early death on funzii, I think this favors Quantic. They have... their lanes are overall just a lot more reliable, and if funzii plays it safely, then he's not going to die again. It's always possible, especially with the extra experience that Miggel's going to get. He'll hit 6 soon, and with enough stacks, even just 3 or 4, and a lasso, funzii could go down. So ryze is successfully pulling off the Ancient pull. He's gotten a couple kills on the Ancient stack, or the Ancients, not a stack, which will get him his level 2. More sentries placed down that are going to be more of a problem for Broodmother as this lane goes forward. The range on open wounds gets a lot higher. And until Brood is able to pick up a Soul Ring, and there's the Ice Path. But Mania, he's getting creep locked. He can't quite get in range for the open wound, so a little bit lucky for fuckingmad there. Yeah, I do believe this favors Quantic overall, just because the 2-1-2, the top lane going well for FlipSide, but this bottom lane not getting a lot of experience. They're both still level 2, and While the Ancient Pole does deny a fair amount of experience, it's not very effective for taking down the Ancients. As you can see, he only got the two small creeps down, and the next pull he'll get the big one down. But that's, you know, one Ancient stack across 4 to 5 minutes is not a lot. In fact, he may even choose just not to bother.
Invisibility.
Missing bottom.
So it looks like we've got a passive early game on our hands. Waiting for Batrider to hit 6 before he can rotate between the lanes. Funzii will probably, particularly with that early death, will likely stay mid as much as he can.
Dire's top tower.
fuckingmad, one thing I did fail to mention here is that he has the option to go into the jungle and steal some of those creeps, and he's also pretty good at challenging pulls. So he's quickly getting his levels. But there won't be a lot of rotation, I think, from Quantic, since Funzii unlikely to leave. He may try and do something down at bottom, but I guess an Earthshaker. Oh, there's the Ice Path, open wounds, dual breath. Will Bucky Mode go down here? One more auto attack, and they don't have a sentry close enough to detect him there, so he will live. Very close. Drop to 30 HP. Unicorn, he's dropping low. He pops the salve, but unsuccessfully. Takes the last auto attack right after. So he goes down. Which, that's a kill going towards Io, so not on the Chaos Knight. It's the only positive thing there. But another reason I'm not a fan of the Ancient pull with Earthshaker is just that Earthshaker so commonly just doesn't have his levels. Oh no, fuckingmad. Can he get to the other? Yeah, there's no sentries out here, so he's gonna be safe. He can actually be so ballsy as to pop his soul ring down to 40 HP. And in mid, there is a total trade there going on, favoring Funzii as he got the kill before Miggel was able to. Both of them going down. And Funzii, the buyback, perhaps a little unnecessary. He did have the TP off cooldown, so he can immediately jump back in the lane, but he's not getting a lot out of that buyback, and I think with that actually causes it to favor Miggel more than anything else. Yeah, an underleveled Earthshaker just doesn't provide a lot for his team, and he does need farm. Oh, Funzii. There's the lasso. Earthshaker's here. Use the Fisher a little bit early, gets the blink off. Funzii's dropping low, but Io is here. Windrunner eating a lot of damage from the spirits. One more auto attack from Miggel, and Funzii does go down. So well played by FlipSide. I think the Fisher was used a little bit early, and that might have ended that fight a little bit sooner. But nonetheless, Silent not able to save his teammate. Silent's almost hit level 5. Because of the ancient pulls, the experience in this bottom lane has suffered a little bit. And it slows down the relocate combo by quite a bit. Take a look at last hits here. Overall, I'd say it's fairly even. Quantic coming out ahead overall, I do believe. Especially with the FlipSide's bottom lane is not getting a lot of farm, or really any farm. Unfortunately, Windrunner, if it's a defensive tri-lane, she's not able to steal much of the pulls with her power shot. That's one thing that she is frequently able to do. And actually, a teleport out from Mania saves his life. It's a little bit of danger because of the rotation from Keeper of the Light. Oh, Miracle. Misses the dual breath from a good blink from Funzii. So Funzii picks up a kill on a support.
I'm sorry, did you say...
There's a relocate gank onto middle, Miggel. He could be in trouble here. Eats a Reality Rift. Tether stun. Chaos Bolt, 3 seconds. He's going to go down.
Couldn't care less.
So the first relocate gank of the game paying off. And quite nicely for Quantic. It's going to delay Miggel's Blink Dagger by quite a fair amount. He's already up to 1,400 gold, so he would have had that probably 2 or 3 minutes, and that'll slow it down by another minute or two. Well, seems like we're going to make it in the mid-game before any big pushes, team fights happen. And the mid-game, I believe, favors FlipSide, particularly because of the lack of farm that they have. Windrunner, she can have a lot of impact in the 10 to 25 minute range, but she does need farm to do that. And without it, she's basically gonna feel like a support in this game. There's the lasso onto Funzii, dual breath. There's the ice path. Is he gonna be able to blink away in time? There's a tether from Silent. The flame break almost bringing him down, and Miggel does end up picking up the last hit. Actually, that was the dual breath that finished him off. Miggel does go down after that. The rotation from Silent. Good use of the spirits to bring Miggel down. fuckingmad, meanwhile, he's taken down the top tier 1. And this is the strength of Broodmother. She's going to sit in this lane for potentially the whole game. She doesn't actually have to rotate. Provide a constant pressure that FlipSide is going to have to respond to, and they don't have a Keeper of the Light that they're okay with just having sit up there and spam Illuminate on those Spiderlings. And Lifestealer, he's really not very good against those Spiderlings, or against Broodmother in general, because she applies a miss rate on her incapacitating bite, and she received a buff in 6.78 to do that ability, raising the miss rate by quite a lot. So while I don't believe that applies through Magic Immunity, he's not going to have that all the time. Funzii, he's rotating around. This could be dangerous from him. I'm not sure he knows that Miracle's here. Illuminate misses. Ice Path lands on Funzii. There's the dual breath. There's a relocate gank from Silent and Sockshka. Miracle's dropping low. 4-second Chaos Bolt on Windrunner. A few more right clicks and she could go down. The Illuminate, in fact, from Goblak. And Io with the Spirits. There's a lasso into Sockshka. The relocate is not going to be able to bring him out of here. He pops the Phantasm. And Funzii shows up with the Sonic Wave. Hits both. And Miggel goes down. Sockshka, he is trapped in here. And he drops. So a valuable kill picked up for Mania. So trading a Chaos Knight for what ended up being about 3 kills for FlipSide, I think is okay. It's unfortunate for Quantic that Mania was there to pick up the last hit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But this is completely removed pressure up in the top lane. fuckingmad, he's getting tower damage up on the top tier 2, and he's freely farming the jungle. So he's going to start having items in the near future. Sitting on 2,500 gold, he could go for an Orchid, he could go for a BKB. Either of those would be fairly common and I think strong choices in this game. He's probably going to need a BKB to deal with the wide variety of stuns from FlipSide. So Miggel with his death there, he's further delayed on his Blink Dagger, which is a problem for his initiation. FlipSide really needs him to be bringing heroes to them and bringing them under the tower to make the relocate counter gank less viable. There's the Fisher onto Goblak, Ice Path, but there's the relocate from behind. Silent and Sockshka are here. Echo Slam dropped. And Goblak does go down, but Miggel, he drops. There's a nice shackle onto Silent and Funzii. And actually, because of the stun, Silent was not able to remove the tether, so they weren't able to finish off Miracle. And meanwhile, Mania, he could take down Goblak and finished off with a power shot from Unicorn. So that was actually nicely played from FlipSide. I was about to say that it was over-aggression. Oh no, Mania, he walks straight into a Chaos Knight in Io, and he's dropping low. He's got the armlet, and he's able to jump inside a creep. Will this save him though? I don't think so. So unfortunate for him that Sockshka and Silent waiting right around the corner. Ryze, he's got the incapacitating bite on him. He's got to be careful. Oh no, Miggel! He's gonna go down again. This Bat Rider, he's quickly becoming irrelevant in this game, and then FlipSide needs him very badly. With a large Spiderling wave,
Dire's middle tower
I think
is
Quantic
under attack.
can very easily take this top tier 2, and it looks like they'll also get the mid tier 1.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They popped the Fortify, I think hoping to get
Radiant's
there,
bottom tower is under
but
attack. Dire's middle tower
yeah,
is
that was a wasted Fortify.
Dire's top tower
I think they were
is
hoping
under
to
attack.
maybe get in there for the deny. I don't know who would have planned to do that. I think once they saw Sockshka and Silent coming around from behind, they realized no longer viable. So Quantic, there's the Reality Rift. Good Aftershock stun will save Ryze for the time being. Ice Path, locks Sockshka in under the tower, pops Phantasm, uses the Reality Rift onto Miracle. He's dealing a lot of damage, and tethers here, as well as the Urn. Sockshka's just not going down. He's so tanky because of the overpower, but he does eventually drop. Miggel, he goes down. Miracle, he pops the dual breath onto Funzii. There's a buyback from... Oh, he goes down. So Funzii, this is a 2 for 2 so far. Over-aggression from Quantic here. It looked like they might have been able to pull it off. But even with that, fuckingmad, he's sitting up at top, and
Radiant's bottom tower
he's just
is
taken
under attack.
the top tier 2, no problem. And the courier, it's got an Orchid. Whoever he finds is dead. No doubt about it. And the room on the map for FlipSide is shrinking rapidly. They've been locked out of their jungle for a while now. There's not a lot of ways that Mania is going to be able to get any more farm. He got that armlet, which was necessary for the kills that he's gotten so far. And his survivability in these fights. But it's not enough. He needs a lot more to be able to stand up to Chaos Knight Wisp. Miggel continues to not have his Blink Dagger 15 minutes into this game. And it may be too late. I feel like because of the Reality Rift, blinking in to initiate, there's just not going to be enough follow-up. They've got the Fisher, which can help. But really, he needs... Oh, Miracle. He's trying to deward here, but okay. I thought fuckingmad was going to go man mode on him, but
Dire's
not the
bottom
case.
tower is under attack.
He really needs the Blink Dagger and the Force Staff to be able to safely initiate. Bottom tier 1 goes down. Sockshka picking up the last hit. And that's one thing about 6.78 that hasn't received a lot of attention, is that the change where now if a hero gets the last hit, that actually produces more overall gold for the team. It's strictly advantageous for a hero to get the last hit, and it gets the carry more gold. Oh, there's a relocate in. Miggel, he's popped the lasso, but he's dropping so fast. Fisher will delay his death for the time being. Chaos Bolt, one right click will drop him down. Sockshka, he's dropping low. He pops the Phantasm. But standing in the Firefly, not able to get out. Silent,
Dire's top tower
relocate
is under
ends,
attack.
takes him out to safety. Meanwhile, fuckingmad, he's up at top. He's started to deal damage to the top tier 3. And this is what Broodmother does. This is a serious problem of falling behind in a game where there is a Broodmother. fuckingmad doesn't have to participate in these team fights. He's so hard to take down. He pops the silence onto Mania. But he's not that tanky right now. He's got to be careful. Are there sentries here? Yes, there are. He will go down. Tried to take down Mania with the Orchid Silence, but plenty of support there from FlipSide, and I think that's demonstrates the value of long range. The supports don't have to be right there to help the carries out. They can do it from long range. In terms of items, Quantic, they've got a mechanism up already on Goblak. Sockshka is almost about to pick up his BKB. Actually, they have 2 mechanisms. It's a little unusual. It's pretty understandable with an IO because you always want the tether. Oh, there's a Reality Rift Chaos Bolt onto Mania, followed by the Sonic Wave. That's a 4-second Chaos Bolt. Mania has very little chance of making out of this, but he does have the Infest. Pops inside a range creep. Sockshka, he's still here. There's a lasso onto Silent. So Silent does go down, and Sockshka, he's in trouble. Not able to find a kill, and Funzii, he's really low. Cannot afford to go in. fuckingmad, he's suiciding here. Does not have the survivability to be going in 1v4. If he had a BKB, maybe, but he doesn't. Only the Orchid. So Quantic feeding a lot of kills to FlipSide in a very short period of time, and that's going to give FlipSide a lot of room to breathe over the next few minutes. That said, take a look at the golden XP, and you can see the consequences of that fight are really, really quite bad. And that's in addition to fuckingmad feeding a kill in the jungle. The gold is at 10,000, and that's still a huge lead for Quantic, and at 19 minutes, pretty hard to come back from. Experience is only 5,000, which is what tends to happen when a big team fight goes the way of the underdog. I really think Quantic, they could have just sat back. They've had map control for most of this game, and there's no reason they couldn't just sit back and get the farm they needed. A BKB on sockshka, he wouldn't have died either of those last 2 times if he just had the BKB, and he very easily could have farmed it up. So I think Quantic, they didn't need to be as aggressive as they had to. But learning from their mistake, they're going to get their farm up now, and not a lot the FlipSide can do to stop it in the time being. There is a blink dagger finally up a miggel. He blinks in, lasso on sockshka. Power shot, but the relocate from Silent, it gets stopped by the stun. Echo Slam will pause sockshka for now, but he's really tanky, and the overpower is saving him from so much damage. FlipSide, are they going to be able to bring him down? Earthshaker, he goes down. It's given time for Quantic to show up and help their carry out. Miggel, he's down in the trees. He should be safe for the time being. That's so sad for FlipSide. It looked like it was going to go really well. They had the chain stun. They just didn't have the damage. Oh, miracle. He was too close. Sockshka picks up the last hit there, and this will be the bottom tier 2 as well for Quantic. I think FlipSide, they really wanted to make use of that blink dagger, and they saw sockshka. Also realizing that Quantic, most of the support was not nearby. fuckingmad, funzii, they weren't close. But the overpower is just too much damage reduction. They really might have gotten him down otherwise.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So Quantic moves into the tier 3. There's a nice shackle landing on Silent sockshka. Open wounds onto Silent. funzii, he blows a sonic wave on ryze. ryze, he does go down. Lasso onto sockshka, but he's not taking any damage. He's got his BKB. No problem for him whatsoever. Miracle, he's a 2-second Chaos Bolt. Mania, he pops the Infest out, and actually sockshka picks up the kill on him as he's trying to get away. So a 4 for none in favor of Quantic. And that looks to be the beginning of the end for FlipSide. The tier 3 will drop, and there's no reason for Quantic to leave the base.
Bottom tower has fallen.
The Chaos Knight Wisp, once again,
Are under attack.
showing why you gotta ban the Wisp. You just have to. There are very few teams that don't know how to run the Chaos Knight Wisp at this point. It was the case a few months back that not every team was... Oh, there's immediate smoke. They may try and rotate back into the base and pick up another kill. And Miggel, he steps out. Reality Rift. He gets immediately brought back in. Silenced. No chance for him. So, a nice use of the smoke there to punish FlipSide just a little bit more. Just a little bit more of a fuck you. Stay down. And, you know, the late game here, I don't see it for FlipSide either. Even with some major overextension from Quantic or otherwise big misplays. They have Broodmother, Chaos Knight, and Queen of Pain, all who scale very nicely, and FlipSide, the only thing they've got to look forward to is the Lifestealer, and he's not got any farm. It's an Unphase and Armlet. There's just not much. With the Roche down, sockshka picking up the Aegis, Quantic can easily continue their push into FlipSide's base and take another set of racks. funzii, he's also picked up a BKB. Hasn't used a single charge yet. There's an Infest onto Miggel. If FlipSide wants to stay in, this is the last stand.
Dire's middle tower.
I don't know who that miggel can initiate on to find a kill though. I think fuckingmad is probably the only viable target, but taking him out of the fight is not enough. Quantic can 4-man this at this point because of the Chaos Knight and IO. Point booster picked up on funzii. Thinking about that X. And actually there's a point booster on silent as well. Probably not interested in building that into anything. Could go for the bloodstone, of course. Oh, funzii. He jumps in. Silence on miggel. 3-second chaos bolt on silent. But he gets separated out from the Fisher, sockshka does, and not able to finish him off just yet. fuckingmad, he's actually dropping low. Mania tries to go on him, but he does go down to sockshka.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So two, even not perfectly initiated from Quantic, they got spread apart, and there was a good Fisher from ryze. I think that was a nice Fisher. Got to give credit where credit's due.
Dire's middle
Oh,
tower
Unicorn.
has fallen.
Be able to pop the wind run, so he's not going to eat enough damage, and silent does go down. Sockshka, he's dropping low, but he's still got the Aegis, and he's going to be okay dropping here. A few more right clicks on ryze, he drops.
Quick redress.
Miracle's still here, but funzii jumps in, takes him out. Aegis is popped on sockshka. It's a 4-for-1 so far on FlipSide. Immediate relocate in by silent, and there's the GG called by FlipSide. 26-16 at 25 minutes into the game. Quantic pretty dominant in this game, no doubt.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think
Radiant's top
the lanes from FlipSide were not strong enough. I don't agree with... I still have yet to see the ancient pull from Earthshaker pay off. You end up with an underleveled Earthshaker, it's unreliable, and it didn't help Windrunner out very much at all. She never had the chance to rotate, she never got the levels of farm that she needed. I think FlipSide really could have gone with the aggressive tri-lane, and I think that would have been the appropriate choice against the Wisp and Chaos Knight. Wisp is not a strong tri-lane hero, and you can put a lot of pressure on. They had long-range stuns to do it with, too. Earthshaker, he's not the ideal tri-lane hero because of how mana-dependent he is, and how much he needs the experience. In an aggressive tri-lane, he can really suffer. However, I think that was a better option than what they ended up going for. And versus the Broodmother top, I think they really could have put Windrunner up there, and she would have done A-okay. She has the Wind Run to deal with the auto attacks from both the Spiderlings as well as Broodmother. She has Power Shot to burst the Spiderlings down, and she would have been a lot more valuable in that game. And of course, Bat mid. Miggel did the best that he could, but he ate so many ganks, and the relocates from Quantic basically kept him down and ensured that the Blink Dagger did not arrive in time. Let's get